Hi, everyone. My name is Julian Bennett. I'm a chemical engineering PhD student here at the WPI, and my research is focused on an enhanced waste-to-energy solution that can be applied to municipal wastewater treatment plants. I'm sure you'd agree with me that dealing with waste is fast becoming more of a menace than just some chore we wish we wouldn't have to do. Each year, over 100 million tons of waste is generated by each country, and to think there are over 200 countries all over the world, the numbers add up quickly. Traditionally, we've been managing waste by landfilling or incinerating them. Some level of recycling is going on, but evidently this needs to be stepped up. The good news is that waste can be seen as a resource instead. Just like to get some metal, one can extract ore from the earth's crust and refine or process it into ingots that can be distributed for use. It is possible to do some segregation and refinement to obtain both materials and energy from waste. Now, there are different sources of waste we can discuss, like solid and liquid waste coming from our homes and industries, agricultural waste, which include crop and animal residue, and waste from forests and other places. In terms of different forms of waste, we can talk about sewage sludge, food waste, plastics, paper, glass, just to name a few. For our purposes, we are focusing on sewage sludge from wastewater treatment plants. By so doing, we'll be tackling the UN Sustainable Development Goals 6 and 7, which focuses on water and sanitation and affordable clean energy, respectively. My research has shown that the energy content to be found in sewage sludge can be up to 5 times the energy needed for the wastewater treatment itself. This means that if we can introduce a system just after the sewage sludge has been treated, but before it is channeled into some river or ocean, we can extract a biofuel, some of which can be used to power the treatment plant, and the rest sold as fuel for transportation purposes or to pump additional power to the grid. Hydrothermal liquefaction of sewage sludge provides an efficient method of extracting the biocrude. The hydrothermal liquefaction process run in the lab works like this. A desired amount of sewage sludge, called the reactant species, is placed in a reactor, pressurized and raised to a temperature of somewhere between 250 degrees and 400 degrees Celsius, and run for a time duration of between 10 and 90 minutes. The resulting product can be separated into 4 categories: the aqueous phase, solid residue, the biocrude oil, and some gases. Our focus is on the biocrude oil. The hydrothermal liquefaction process can be improved by adding a radical initiator to the reactant species. I would explain that in a moment. For these experiments, we use carbon yields as a parameter to determine how much biocrude and other products we're getting, as carbon is the most important element in the organic compound our products are made of. Now, to determine the pool or range of temperature and time conditions within which we would be getting the highest carbon yield for biocrude, we ran 2 sets of 9 experiments with different concentrations of the radical initiator. This led us to the realization that most suitable temperatures and time conditions for running these experiments would be 300 degrees Celsius for a time duration of 10 minutes. Radical experiments focused on running 2 sets of experiments, comparing a radicalized reaction, that's HTL plus, as you see on the screen, with the basic hydrothermal liquefaction process, which is named HTL, at 2 different temperatures for analysis purposes. Clearly, 2 things are seen from the 2 charts. First of all, there was a higher carbon yield in the experiments run at 300 degrees Celsius for 10 minutes compared to the one run at 300 degrees Celsius for 90 minutes, regardless of whether or not the radical was introduced. Secondly, in both cases, regardless of the time duration for the experiment, the carbon yield for the biocrude coming from the radicalized reaction was higher than that coming from the basic HTL reactions. This tells us generally that the radical initiator increases the biocrude, and the question is, how does that work? The hypothesis is that HCl plus increases biocrude yield by increasing the pool of radicals available for reaction. Now, radical initiators are compounds that produce radical species under mild temperature conditions. The resulting unpaired valence electrodes, however, make the radical species highly chemically reactive. The chosen radical decomposes or breaks homolytically when heated into 2 oxyl radicals, which readily initiates the reaction, thereby leading to an increase in biocrude. In conclusion, a radical initiator increased biocrude formation, enhancing the overall hydrothermal liquefaction process. The highest carbon yield was obtained at a temperature of 300 degrees Celsius for a time duration of 10 minutes. Future work is aimed at confirming our hypothesis by trying out another radical initiator. But basically, we are on course to adding value to sewage sludge obtained from municipal wastewater treatment plants, and in the process, tackling the UN Sustainable Development Goals 6 and 7, which focuses on water and sanitation and affordable clean energy, respectively. Thank you.